Hi, Taurus. This is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I'm here today to do your January 2020 general reading. We are almost there, guys. So these are general readings. Please take what applies, leave what does not. If you are new to my channel, welcome. So glad to have you here. If you're my Vibe Tribe, you know I love you something serious. And I will say, like, the energy has just been so weird. There's a lot of highs and lows going on, and there's a lot of, kind of resistance that's causing and myself. So I hope that the other Tauruses aren't feeling it, but if you are not alone. Hey, Lachey. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you resonate with me, my energy, or these messages. And again, please take what resonates, but leave what doesn't. These are for the people that need it most, right? But if they don't resonate with you, make sure to check out your rising moon and Venus, because this is for sun, moon, rising, and Venus. So yeah, guys, just breathe, okay? If you are feeling what I'm feeling, I mean, this whole day has just been getting prepared and logistics and, a lot of, dealing with technology and accounts and all this stuff. And it's just frustrating, especially when you keep meeting so much resistance. But be the bull, Spirit says, and push through it regardless of what resistance you meet, in order to get things done, is the message I've been receiving all day. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Dewey. So yeah, guys, you are not alone in this, and everything's going to be fine. It's just that last push of the season to prepare us. Yeah, a lot of breathing, Dewey. I have to keep recentering myself and grounding myself and just remembering to talk to them, let them know, like, do what you can, but ultimately it's up to them and everything's going to work out as it should. So just keep the faith, keep pushing forward, and regardless of the situation, hopefully January will be a little bit kinder to us. So with that being said, let's see what's going on, Taurus. Let's move out of the energy of resistance and frustration. Let's get some good ass messages going on. So how I've been doing the other readings is, hey, Kara, how are you? Yes, you're here. We're pulling messages from the Messenger Oracle, and then we're going to pull some clarifiers. I do have the Romance Angels and the channeled messages, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be calling the Soul to Soul Divination deck. But yeah, guys, if you know anyone that can help me get these cards designed and printed, because I don't know how to do any of that, I would greatly appreciate it. And if anyone knows anything about GoFundMe and all the bullshit that they put through, please let me know, because I need that too. So, hey, Danny. All right, guys. So let's get this shit started. All the bullshit. Let's wipe it clean. New slate, right? So deep breath, everybody. All my Taurus friends, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Spirit, what do you have in store for us for January 2020? Give us something good, Spirit. Give us some good news. Let us hear some special messages. What do we need to know most for January 2020? I can't believe it's not even that, Danny. It's not even that. I knew they were going to take a cut, and that's not what I'm worried about. The problem I'm having is actually setting up the withdrawals. Like, every time I get to a certain point, it's not letting me do it. So, and I would hate to think that Spirit had me set all that up to receive support that I can't even get I can't even get a hold of. So, hey, Frost. Yes, there you go. I'll send you something. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. It's weird. I've been trying for weeks to get it set up, and I can't. So Anyway, enough about that. What is going on, Spirit? Let's get into this because they're ready to talk, my friends. They are ready to talk. We got a lot on the board here. Which stuff's falling? Stuff is falling. All right. So, speaking of falling, surrender to the flow, okay? You are going to see things falling out of your life. You're going to see things that are transitioning out of your life, Taurus. And the one thing that I can tell you is with the ladybug involved, which that might be a sign for some of you, but the ladybug represents luck to me, okay? So when you allow yourself to surrender, right, and allow these things to fall away and to transition out of your life, then you will be bringing waves of new luck towards you, okay? Show that you care. Be grateful for the things that are transitioning out of your life so that you can open up new possibilities for good luck and fortune. Okay, Taurus? So right now, they want you to focus and then act. Realize your raw power. Understand the things that are being cut out of your life that are actually being severed, not just cut, but severed. Some things need to be gone for good, whether that be belief patterns, habits, people, places, things, don't matter, okay? But it's time to ground yourself and challenge your perception on the things that you're afraid of letting go, right? So with the focus and then act, I always look at this girl like she is looking up towards the heaven. This is asking for your guides for support and realizing your true potential, realizing your raw power. You might even notice some shifts around full moon, but this is like realizing that true potential within to let go and sever things that are no longer serving you, and making sure that you are not bringing this stuff in with you into the new year, okay? So ground yourself when all these transitions are happening. And, I don't feel like there's a ton left for Taurus to clean up. But of course, with Ascension, there's always little things that come up. But I feel like this is also about challenging your perception of what has happened this year in 2019 and accepting the new path of 2020. Okay, what has changed into your life? Because listen, you've done a lot of this work, Taurus. You have realized the power that you have and accepting your truth, and you know like accepting your place in this world to the point of laying down that sword and challenging the perception of all the things that you have had to change within yourself and with your environment, right? Stay calm, steady, and collected through this time, and grounding yourself is really going to help you through this transition. Because if you look at the stay grounded, there's these two, they look like little pheasants, and there's acorns, which acorns also represent abundance and new growth for me. But there's a lot of mirroring going on. So look into the things that the mirroring or the reflection work has taught you in this last year to help you solidify the changes that you have already made coming into January, okay? So then we have nurture all that you love. Okay. Again, okay, look, guys, look at this. So there's the full moon here and the focus and then act, right? Realizing your power, realizing your potential, cutting off those things that are holding you up, right? Saying no more, because we're the bull. We say push forward regardless. We can be stubborn, but we can use that in a different way to empower us instead of taking our power away. So then we can really look at all these things that have been either illusions in our life or have shown themselves clearly, and we can nurture that. We can say, okay, listen, we've seen the shadow, we've seen the light, we accept it all, and we nurture these transitions in our life, right? Because we're taking that time to reflect when we need to reflect, whether it is meeting the resistance and coming across frustration, or just looking at the things in our lives that aren't necessarily benefiting our growth and our ascension path. Um, but it's giving us a chance to look at the difference between need and necessity and what's keeping us balanced. Where is that duality between the light and the dark, the enlightenment and the shadow work? What is creating the yin to our yang? Right? And understanding that both aspects play a crucial role in our ascension. Okay. And I find it really inspiring that here in the stay grounded, time to ground, okay, the third eye is actually barely open. It's open, but look at the difference between the two, right? And the time to ground, it almost looks sleepy, where the difference between need and necessity, the mind's eye is wide open. And it's because we've done this reflection, we've done this mirroring work, and now we're listening to spirit's guidance, right? We're seeing the magic all around us and choosing to follow spirit its guidance wherever they may lead us, whether it makes logical sense or not. We're choosing to have faith and moving forward. Okay. So, what does this have to do with our relationships? Because there's a lot of mirroring going on here. So, whether it is reflections, I feel like all of the relationships that we come across, whether it is a soulmate, twin flame, whatevs, every relationship that we have in our life is a mirror for us. Anything that feels great, anything that triggers us is giving us the perfect mirror that we need in order to see what are we accepting into our life, what are we embracing, what is triggering us and what needs to be healed. It all plays a crucial part. So how is this helping us with our relationships, and what is that going to change for us in January? Okay. So let's start with, what role is this playing? Okay. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So it's also giving you a good idea when it comes to anyone in your life who is there for you in the long run, who is benefiting and encouraging and supporting your growth and your individuality and your authentic self, allowing you to be the best version of you and supporting that transition, right? But who's also taking from that. When you let those energy vampires go, then you let room in for people, because it's by you setting boundaries and respecting yourself that you allow people to meet you on that same vibration, that have that same respect for self and the people that they accept into their life. And that's what we want, right? We want someone to show up in the same vibration that we do. So if we are setting healthy boundaries and making sure that we're taking care of ourselves and taking that time to ground and reflect and do our inner work, then we are also attracting those people who are doing the same, right? But when you're committing to self, you will attract people who are committing to self and to you, Taurus. So understand that by you letting these unhealthy relationships go, whether that be with self or other people, you are taking that your love life, the love you have for self and for others, to a higher level of commitment. Okay. So how is this going to change everything for us in January? What do we have to look forward to? Children. So it could just be like, some of you might develop deeper bonds with your children, or some of you might like come into more of this youthful energy where it's time to play and experience and, live, laugh, and just enjoy life again, where it's not so serious all the time. It's about trusting ourselves and trusting the energies that we're attracting to us. If it feels good, then we accept. If it doesn't, then we also take that time to reflect, but we don't have to accept it if it is not right. Okay. So, is there anything else that we're learning? How is this benefiting us? Calling in your soulmate. See, what you are is what you attract. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to run into, because again, high vibrational people, we attract all kinds of energies, right? We also attract people who need to be healed. But if they are not willing to do the work, then you don't have to accept that into your life, because you're not responsible for fixing anyone, okay? You need to come first when it comes to your love for self, for journey, for mission, for God, and then everything else falls into place, okay? Religious factors. What are your belief systems, okay? So if you want people to come into your life that are going to help support that journey, right? That are going to encourage that journey. You first have to be dedicated to that journey so that you can accept and know what you're allowing into your life and what you have already been letting go of. Okay? So, let's pull some tarot. All right. So, Spirit. Whoa. Okay. Taurus, being extra. Like extra. Shit is all over the place. All over the place. Okay. Yeah, listen. Five of Staffs and the Page of Pentacles came out reversed. So, you're refusing to fight over anyone or for anyone who is not willing to bring a solid offer to your table. It's not about so much having expectations, but it's about knowing your worth and what you actually want in your life. So if you know that you want someone that's going to be solidly committed to you, or is going to put that effort into you, right? Then you're not going to sit there and beat around the bush and fight and argue and create a lot of internal drama and external drama just because someone is not giving you what you want or need, right? And it's, again, the need and necessity. It's like letting go of all the drama of anyone that's not willing to show up for you, and quit putting so much effort into allowing people to validate you and what you are to them, right? You already know what you are to you. So if you don't, then that's really where you should start. If you don't know who you are to self and who you are to God, then you are going to attract lower vibrational people that don't quite understand what it's going to take to show up in Taurus's life. Okay. So give me 1 second. I got to plug in my computer. Okay. So what else do we have going on? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, then. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Four of Swords, Judgment, the Lovers, King of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Empress. Holy moly. Okay. So what this tells me is that by not arguing and not, creating so much conflict over anyone or anything that does not show up for you the way that you deserve, right? And that includes yourself. If you've been resisting that time and space for, self-love and self-care, then, you need to be able to do that for self so that you can have those healthy dynamics within all of your relationships. Because if you can't show up for self, how can you truly show up for anyone else without getting tired, run down, or even feeling that frustration towards any of your partners or the people who are in your life, because then you get burned out and you're like, why doesn't anyone do anything for me? And then it turns into this whole big thing. Listen, been there, done that, not worth it. If you need time for you, take time for you and don't feel guilty about it. Okay. So I feel like this is something that you've been waiting on for quite some time, Taurus. Like, especially with calling in your soulmate, I feel like you really had to go through this process in order to like really figure out what you need out of your relationships and what you need from self in order to have a healthy, balanced relationship. Okay. You have what's the word? You have plowed the fields, you have sowed your seeds, and now you're watching things grow and form. But it wasn't quite the right time for communication to come through. So if you have been waiting for some heart-to-heart conversation or heartfelt messages or just some truth to come through, I feel like you really needed to take this time and trust in divine timing for the healing process to happen, for that wake up call, that realization that things are changing and transforming and that you're being called to a higher level of elevation. Don't stay stuck on someone who is not willing to show up for you, but you have been constantly willing to show up for them. Sometimes we got to take a step back and look at things more clearly. And sometimes we got to let go of the expectation and the attachment in order to allow a higher unfolding happen, right? And that's where the lovers come in. This could be a soulmate twin flame, but it could also be about making choices within your relationships and realizing that it takes equal effort, right? Sometimes I can almost see this as a peace offering too. But the way that Adam and Eve are represented in this card is seeing each other on equal grounds. No one is higher or lower than the other, and you are both putting in the effort and receiving that same energy from each other. That's what all of this is about. Okay. And it's about having someone, could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be, but it's about a masculine energy coming through with the confidence and authority, saying, I know what I want. It is my Queen of Cups, the one that's been emotional and vulnerable with me the whole time, someone who took the lid off and exposed herself to me. And now I see who she truly is. She's the Empress of all. She encompasses all. She is the creator. She is the birther of truth. And it's by standing in your truth and knowing your worth, Taurus, especially if you are on the feminine aspect of realizing that by staying true to your emotions and what it is that you necessarily need out of a significant other or out of your relationships, but also staying neutral and just allowing yourself to be natural in your own energy, right? That's what attracts the perfect partner for you, because you have finally accepted yourself as you are. That's the key here. Okay. So, hi, Bob. How are you? Hi, CJ. Nice, everyone. Thank you for being here. So I feel like, especially with the way that this has come out, this is something that Taurus has been waiting on and waiting for some sort of communication, but also had to go through the healing process. Hey, Heather. Let's see, what message does this person who has been away from Taurus or not communicating with Taurus, what do they want to say but couldn't at the time? Okay. What do they want to say but couldn't? Okay, well, that went flying across the room. Give me 1 second. Okay. Listen. I can't make this shit up, y'all. I feel you pulling away and it makes me want you more. So when you quit putting in so much effort into someone who is not showing up for you or can't show up for you right now, and it's not that they're a bad person, guys, okay? Sometimes people get in their own way. We all have. Right? Sometimes we let our fear and our ego and our pride convince ourselves that we're undeserving or they don't want us or whatever the case may be. And then we get all butthurt, right? We take it personally. And that's really what goes on with the majority of the people, right? But especially when we're talking about divine connections, that it's just not time because there's healing that needs to be done. And if you're on that journey or not. The more that you start to focus on self instead of focusing on another person, there shouldn't be codependent behavior going on. When you can focus on self, love self, and accept self, then that's when they start feeling this energy pulling away and they want that connection. Right? When they feel that that connection is leaving, then they are going to start making strides forward. I've always put up a good front, but you see right through me, Taurus. Okay. So a lot of you may have let your fear and pride get in the way and trying to convince yourself, oh, this person doesn't really feel that way towards me. They act like this, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, your truth, you've always really seen deeper into this person's soul. You understand the fear aspects of why they haven't made those strides forward. And you understood that the healing needed to take place in order for them to show up on the level that both of you deserve. Right? In order to have a healthy dynamic, we first have to get through all the conditionings and the patterns and the belief systems of fear in order to allow ourselves to be in a relationship that thrives. And that's the difference, right? Not when we're pointing fingers and not when we're looking for validation or that, we need someone to show up in such a way that completes us when we feel that we know ourselves on a deeper aspect. And even if we're not fully complete, that's okay too, because I don't think this work is ever truly done. But I also feel that you should have enough awareness of self while still staying open that you can allow yourself to fluidly move through the rivers of life and still be able to experience and thrive and grow, right? But also have enough strength within yourself to say, I'm not going to let anyone take advantage of me. I'm not going to allow people to abuse me or steal my energy because I don't have all of that to give. When you put so much focus on someone else that you are taking away from self, or as a healer there's multiple people that you could be helping by the one person you're spending all of your time and energy on, that's creating resistance. You see what I'm saying? That's an unhealthy dynamic. If someone does not have the courage to elevate and to ascend, then they need to come to that on their own terms. You cannot force or manipulate that, okay? So let's see. Is there anything else that this quiet person would like to say to their Taurus that they did not have the courage to say before? Quite a bit. Okay. I've wanted to reach out to you, but I can't I can't hit the send button. I pull away because this is so intense for me. I feel like a child when I'm in your presence, and I don't like feeling vulnerable, and I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush. I'm working on releasing fear, guilt, and animosity. Deep down, I feel like I missed an opportunity. I don't want anyone to steal this connection from me, but I don't know how to show up for you because you deserve the best, Taurus. It was so nice seeing you. It reminded me of the connection we have. It scares me because my heart feels like it's going to leap out of my chest. How do you always have this effect on me? So, whether you saw this person in passing, you could have met up with this person, or it could be coming because we are talking January, or they could also be watching you on social media, and every time they see your picture, you do something to them. Okay, no matter what, when they feel your presence or they see you physically, then you have an effect on them that they are not used to and they don't understand. It's bringing up all that fear, guilt, and animosity and why they can't accept the connection for what it is. I hope you're happy because you deserve it. So deep down, they know, right? But they also know that they're standing in their own way, Taurus. So do with it what you will. But I hope these messages resonate with you and give you a little bit of clarity of what to expect in January. And if you need a private reading, please email me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know how it resonates with you. And I wish you all the very best of luck. Happy New Year, Taurus.